evening, and welcome to Hanging with the Walkers. Here with my host and co-host, Rogers Walker.
Greetings, my brothers and sisters. Greetings.
Good evening, and welcome to another wonderful segment of Hanging with the Walkers. We are so excited to have you on tonight. We're so excited that you decided to join us from your living rooms, from your homes, from your cars, from wherever you may be. Thank you so much for tapping in on tonight. And you know what to do. Please like and share this video. If you're unable to tap in on social media, please go to our YouTube page at Barbara Walker 6795. And I guarantee on tonight, there is something that you need to hear. There is something that you need to see and know that all of us are or have dealt with. And the topic tonight is the power of forgiving. How about let's go a little further? The power of forgiving your spouse. Now don't get antsy, don't get nervous, don't be afraid. Just understand and know. First word, keyword, power. In other words, you can do it. Of forgiving, not only just forgiving, but forgiving your spouse. Oh my goodness. This is going to be good tonight. So, again, make sure you tag someone, make sure you let them know that we are on, make sure you help them to understand and see and know that we are talking about the power of forgiving. Not only just forgiving, but the power of forgiving your spouse. And this was a topic that my host and co-host said we should delve into tonight. The power of forgiving. Because even in this due season, where we are, how we are, and who we are, there are some things that we have not done. There are some things that we have not let go of. There are some things that we have decided for one reason or another that we're going to hold on to regardless of the fact. We're going to, regardless to if we said that we forgave, if we said that we let it go, we're going to hold on to it for whatever reason. And you remember I wrote the book Forever Growing. And in that book, I was able to delve into some things that would allow us to be able to let go in order to grow. And finding out over and over again in each segment in our life, there are some things and there are some people that we have to let go of in order to be free enough to grow, to be able to say, I forgave you.
That's right.
And
That's
to
right.
really, really know that you let it go.
That is so true.
In one of the chapters in the book, Forever Growing, I wrote a chapter that said, who's carrying who? Because sometimes in the midst of our relationships, we have a tendency to think that because I'm able to do more than you're able to do, that I'm carrying you. We get to a point to where there's a low place in your life. You're not able to do what you used to do. So an act or a feeling of neglect or weight falls on us. And we start to think to ourselves, who's carrying who? We have our own dreams, our own visions, and we actually think it's our own life, even though we're in the relationship together. I am I know that the word says, the word declares, even to your old age, he says, I am he. He said, even to your gray hairs, I will carry you. And you're thinking, I'm doing this on my own. And guess what? God has been carrying you all along. So that feeling of neglect, that feeling of I'm doing it all by myself, that feeling of I'm carrying you, that may have caused you to not forgive, tonight we need to let it go and remind ourselves it's our dreams, it's our life. And if
Mm.
you're single, you begin to think, then you begin to think it's my dream, my life, my vision. And then when we speak our dreams out loud or begin to confess what we really want, when we confess what we really desire, it
Mm.
scares others.
Come on now.
And because you don't support me,
Empathy.
you don't follow me, you don't say yes to everything that I want to do, every direction that I want to go in life or in our relationship,
Mm.
unforgiveness
Yes, yes.
began to fall into play. Because sometimes things that we say or do or want to desire to do in our relationships, our friendship, our business, our marriages, our ministries, sometimes it scares other people. Sometimes our dreams are so big and we think they will never happen. And we've been taught to speak it out. At times, growing up, some may have been taught to just pray. But James 4 and 2 part B says, we have not because we ask not. And verse 3 say, yea, ask and receive not because you ask amiss, that you may consume it upon your lust. So just know to open up your mouth and begin to speak your dreams and visions. But in the midst of that, you still have to remember to forgive that person who may not be where you are, who thoughts may not be where your thoughts are, and begin to let go so that you can grow.
Mm.
In order for us to get into a point to where we, and this is in the book, in order for us to get into a place to where we can let go in order to grow, sometimes we need just a little encouragement. Before we can forgive, we have to trust. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not depend on your own understanding. If I'm not dependent on my own understanding, then therefore I have to trust him because I don't know. And I can't blame you because it didn't come to pass, because it was something that neither one of us understood. Seek his will in all you do, and he will show you which path to take.
Mm.
Then therefore, I'm not accusing you of doing things your way.
Right,
You're
right.
not accusing me of doing things my way. And Deuteronomy 4 and 31 ESV says, for the Lord your God is a merciful God, for he will not leave you or destroy you or forget the covenant with your fathers that he swore to them. So when we began to make plans in our relationships and our marriages, our ministries, our businesses, then we come together as one. We talk about those things and we begin to share, because sometimes in our mind, we may think it's too much, and you may think you don't have enough faith, you don't have enough vision, your dreams are too small. And now that we know these things, we just gotta keep going. We just gotta stand up. We gotta remember that we're not alone. We're not in this thing alone. So that we can realize who's carrying who and let go of the unforgiveness
Mm.
that may be forming in our relationship without us knowing it.
Right.
Because sometimes bitterness and unforgiveness begins to form and we're not even realize it. It's like a small seed that's planted. And then by the time we realize it, it has consumed us and overtaken us, overtaken our relationships, overtaken our minds. That, oh, it doesn't matter whether you like it or not. It doesn't matter if you think it can work or not. It doesn't matter if you don't speak to me. It doesn't matter if you don't talk to me. But in the midst of all of that, it may be a seed of unforgiveness. What are your
Wow.
thoughts?
Wow. That is so powerful and exactly right. I mean, we're talking about the power of forgiving your spouse. I mean, a lot of times we say we're sorry, but is that truly forgiveness?
Mm-hmm.
Are you truly forgiving when you saying that you're sorry? Because we have to do a 360 when we asking for forgiveness, or even when we're giving forgiveness. We have to give grace in that period. A spouse has to be able to feel comfort, have to be in a comfortable place in their life in order to receive your forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
Is it time consuming? Is it an overnight process? What do you think? Forgiveness of your spouse. But have you forgiven yourself first?
That's it.
Because a lot of times when we are dealing with unforgiveness within our own heart, it is hard for us to forgive others
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because we have been dealt the hand of hurt, pain, disrespected, pushed to the side, or even ignored.
Yes.
And all these build up over years and years of time, not only in your relationship, but what about those previous relationships that you had before?
Mm-hmm.
What about your childhood, how you grew up, or how your parents talked to you, or whether your parents were with you or not?
Mm-hmm.
Those put resentment inside your heart.
Yes.
Those give you a stony heart. Those harden your heart. And so when you do get in a relationship with someone, it's so easy for you to disrespect them because you have been disrespected all your life.
Yes.
And so you feel like no one trusts you, no one loves you, and you don't trust anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And so it brings about these type of situations in our lives. And we have to be careful with those, because if we truly want to receive forgiveness, we got to also give it,
Mm-hmm.
because the Bible speaks of that.
Mm-hmm.
How can your father forgive you of your past sin if you don't forgive your brother and sister of their own?
That's true.
So we have to forgive. It's a command. But do we really forgive?
Hmm.
Do we really turn from what we're forgiven of?
Wow.
Or do we repeat the same cycle over and over and over? And so we get so comfortable with one another until we begin to say, I'm sorry, my bad.
Mm-hmm.
So we stop talking words that have power, and we start talking like the world with their words.
That's true.
And we'll say those type of things amongst one another, and we forget about who we are because we're losing our identity right in the presence of our own self.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then I said over and over again, sometimes we say that we let those things go, but we never really,
Mm,
or I'll pose it as a question, do we ever really let it go?
mm,
Is it still there? As you said the other night, is it in our hurt pockets?
mm.
Somewhere where we stored it for later to use as a weapon? Or did we really truly just let it go
Mm.
and said, okay, you know what? We're going to go on from there. We're going to stop blaming other people. We're going to walk into this for real so that we can be free from the hurt and the pain. Good evening to you, Sister Marjorie. It's just something about that. 3 words, I forgive you, comes out of our mouth. But what does the heart say?
Right.
What is the heart really saying? Did I really forgive you? Did I forgive you and let it go? There's a process. You gotta do something to get something.
Right.
If I say I forgave you, I really gotta let it go. So that when it comes up again and we say, I thought you forgave me. I forgave you, but that seed was still in my heart.
Mm-hmm.
So did I really let it go? Or was I still holding on to it? That's the question tonight. Did I really forgive? Did I really let it go? Did I really say, you know what? We're moving on from this point. And I love when we say, I'm moving on from this point. We're moving on from this point, but are we going to make it the topic of another discussion
Mm-hmm.
later on?
One thing about unforgiveness, it's like a runaway train.
Yep.
It's going to soon derail your life.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't forgive, not only is it damaging unto you, but it's damaging unto everyone that you encounter.
Yes.
You may not see it right then, but eventually you're going to hurt someone,
Mm-hmm.
or someone going to hurt you, because that's the way that you're feeling.
Right.
Because if you're feeling like you always the one that getting the bad end of the stick, dealt a bad deck of cards.
Mhm.
You're gonna always have that feeling on the inside of you that
Mhm.
someone is trying to do you wrong.
Mhm. And as you said, sometimes we have to go all the way back to our childhood.
Hmm. Back to the root.
Have to go all the way back to the root as to what happened, what we said, what we felt, because sometimes it's an emotion.
And also, it can cloud our judgment.
Mm-hmm.
It can cloud our hearing
Mm-hmm.
because what we're really listening for, we're not listening for that. We're listening for something else.
Right.
So someone will be saying something nice to you, but since you are hurting, you'll take that what they're saying and you'll twist it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now there goes an argument right there. And everywhere you go, it's an argument because you'll never recognize because you don't believe that it's you.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere you go, that's an issue in life. And we always point the finger that it's someone else.
It's someone
We
else's
never
fault.
look at it as us.
That's it.
Because hurting people continue to want to hurt people because that's their form of relief. They feel like, okay, I'm releasing now. And they expect everyone to understand that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not fair to anyone to be treated that way.
Mm-hmm.
Not even the person that is dishing it out because someone mistreated that individual.
Yeah.
So how do we break the unforgiveness cycle? How do we fix that? How do we fix that, my brothers and sisters? Is there anyone can help me to help someone to allow them to understand how do we fix unforgiveness? We have to first forgive those that have mistreated us, that have hurted us, that have lied to us, that have disrespected us, that has tormented us, or whatever they have done to us. We have to forgive them.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to forgive ourselves. Some of it was your fault, and some of it was not your fault.
Right. Right.
But we have to forgive ourselves. The problem that we're having, we don't forgive ourselves and we keep holding on to those thorns over and over and over. And we find out why my hand is constantly bleeding.
Right.
Because we don't want to let go of those thorns. The quicker you let go of those thorns, the quicker healing could take place. But as long as you hold on to that thorn bush, it's going to continue to prick you and poke you, and you can continue to bleed.
That's it. That's it.
That's the problem that we're having. We're holding on to past hurt that we should have been got over. Well, some get over faster than others. True enough. But what is holding you back? That is a tactic in the scheme of the enemy. Want you to stay there and wallow in your hurtness so you cannot heal.
That's it.
And then you cannot receive the things that God had for you because you are blaming God because you won't really trust him and let go.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Here it is, Matthew 6 and 14. You know, we know that it's in Numbers. But Matthew 6 and 14 says, "For if you forgive men their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. If you do not forgive them their trespasses, neither will your Father forgive your trespasses."
That's it.
And how many times, again, I say, over the years,
That's it.
we've held things over each other's head
Mm-hmm.
for years. I said I forgave you, but I really didn't. Child out of wedlock, I didn't forgive you. Infidelity, I didn't forgive you. You left me and the kids, I didn't forgive you. There were things that you said that you were going to do, I didn't forgive you, but I remained with you. We raised the kids together, bought property together, but there still were some things that I did not let go of,
Mm-hmm.
that I did not forgive. Matthew 18, 21 through 22. Peter asked Jesus, "Lord, how many times shall I forgive my brother or sister who sins against me?" Jesus responds, "I tell you, not 7 times, but 77 times." So we think that because we said, "I forgave you once, then I'm done. So if you do it again, I'm not supposed to forgive you. I'm supposed to just pack up everything I got and then just leave. I'm supposed to like not look back." But we forgot the vicious cycle of hurting people hurt people.
Mm-hmm. And also, Pastor, when you look at that in Matthew 18, some giving the equivalent of 490 times. But what Jesus was saying, he wants us to continue to forgive throughout our lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a constant thing that we have to do,
Mm-hmm.
is forgive. Because in order for new doors to open in our lives, we got to first close the old doors.
That's
and what
it.
are those old doors? Those old doors are unforgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
You can never walk into your newness. You can never walk into your happiness. You can never walk into your prosperity when you're holding on to unforgiveness. Because unforgiveness keeps you stagnant. It keeps you slowful. It makes you a slugger, and it keeps you at the point that you are right now. This is why we're not receiving what God truly has for us,
Mm-hmm.
because we have unforgiveness in our heart.
One of our sponsors, Scylla Gibson, says it's a difference between listening and hearing. Some listen to respond and not to understand. Miss Eloise said, "Do we forgive but not forget?" That's it right there.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time, we say we forgive. Those three words, "I forgive you,"
Mm-hmm.
but did we really forget it? No, we didn't, because we'll bring up another situation. Perfect example. I was teasing my husband before we got on the line. I was trying to tell him something, but he was trying to get some rest. And he was saying, just let me get some sleep. Here it is, another day. I've been teasing him all day long about that. It was not a big deal, but how come I couldn't let that go? How come I keep reminding him that he didn't want to listen to me right then, that I had to wait to tell him what it is that I wanted to tell him? That's how simple unforgiveness starts. That's how easy a seed is planted that we don't forgive. And Mr. Ed Carmen said, people forget that forgiveness is not just for the person you're forgiving; it's for you. You're forgetting it's for you too.
Exactly, because
Mhm.
when we're holding on to anger and bitterness, that can hurt us more than the person we are in conflict with.
Mhm. Mhm.
Bitterness is very dangerous, my brothers and sisters. It is very dangerous. It causes you to lose your identity. It causes you to change when everybody else see that you are changing, but you don't see it. It causes you to be blind to the fact of what's really going on around you and within you.
Mhm.
It is so detrimental until it destroys marriage. It causes you people to lose jobs. It breaks up family. It destroys community. Unforgiveness. We're not born with unforgiveness in our heart. We're not born that way.
Mhm.
That's something that we learn on the way.
That's true. That's true.
And that's the cycle that we have to break. We have to break that distraction, because my brother and sister, it's only an illusion
Mhm.
of what you're really feeling,
Mhm.
because you really don't feel that way.
Mhm.
But having a pity party, which is a sin, and having someone to come to your aid and say, "Oh, that should have never happened to you. Oh, you don't deserve that." That's what the flesh want to feed off of.
Mhm. Mhm.
But what happened when nobody comes and say anything to you?
Yes.
You don't be mad anymore. You move on about your business. Folks only linger in problems and mess when other folks push them into it more.
Wow.
So if people stop going and liking by disliking that right there, you'll change,
Mhm.
because no one listening to it. That's what the problem is. We got too many of us listening to too much mess, and it causing us to grieve more, and it grieving the wrong way. This is why so many of us are dying early. This is why so many of us are dying wrong, because of unforgiveness. It's caused more problems. Don't you know that unforgiveness causes you to be stressed, anxiety attack,
That's it.
diabetes? It causes
Mhm.
your other organs to stress out.
Mhm.
It causes you to get on dialysis. All this stuff is linked back to unforgiveness. So how can you expect your father to forgive you of your sin if you don't forgive your brother and sister of their sin?
Yep.
How can you expect your Lord to heal you when you got ailments or issues in your body when you don't forgive your brother or sister?
Mhm.
These are the things that are hindering us as a people. And we got to be able to let go of it. Stop wearing your feelings on your sleeves
Hmm.
and move forward in the things of God.
That's it.
This is the only way. This is the only way that we're going to be able to change the format that the enemy has laid down before us.
Mhm.
If we don't come together as a people, he's going to continue to have his format right there, causing us to be unforgiveness in our heart. And this is why so much chaos is going on right now.
That's it. That's it.
He has turned up the heat because he want to take as many back to hell with them as he can.
Mhm.
And why we're not recognizing that? And he's doing it through unforgiveness. Unforgiveness causes you to murder people, rape people, kill people, whatever. It causes all that.
Mhm.
It causes you to break into someone's house because you had a bad day. You want somebody else to have a bad day.
That's it.
That is the tactic and scheme of the enemy.
Mhm.
And it's up to us to stop it.
Mhm.
And how do we stop it? It starts with you. It starts with me. It starts with Barbara. It starts with Teresa. It starts with Tanya. It starts with Tony. It starts with whoever. We start 1st.
Mhm.
Michael Jackson penned the song. It's the man in the mirror. When the last time did you look in the mirror and say, you know what, Roger, you got to get this right. It's time for you to straighten up. It's time for you to walk upright because we are above but not beneath. It's time for you to start being the lender and stop borrowing.
Mhm.
It's time for you to start being what God has called you to be because you are what the word of God say you are. When are we going to forgive ourselves
That's it.
so that we can forgive our brother and our sister?
Mhm.
Because it starts right here, brothers and sisters. Do you really love you? Do you admire yourself?
It's personal.
Do you adore yourself? Do you tell yourself how blessed you are?
Mhm.
Do you tell yourself how valuable that you are? Do you know your worth? Do you know who you are in this life?
Mhm.
What is your purpose for being here? What is your reason for feeling the way that you're feeling? Those are questions that you need to answer.
Yep.
And when you answer those questions, you will look at life from a different perspective. You will look at life totally different from the way you're looking at it right now.
Mhm.
Because I promise you, brothers and sisters, when you get into the spiritual realm, things look totally different. Why? Because now when I'm in the spiritual realm, I'm able to look down at my problem. I'm able to say, you know what, it ain't bad after all.
That's it.
But it's something when you got that bull by the horn and you look at him dead in his eyes.
Yes.
Will fear come over you? Will intimidation come over you? Will you get scared? Will you get frightened? Because that's what life throws at us. That's what
Yes.
life do for us.
That's it.
But when you got brothers and sisters that love you, trying to encourage you, trying to push you to your destination, trying to help you move forward in the things of what God has called you to do, we have to embrace that.
Yes.
And the quicker we embrace this, the better off we are. Now we're able to close up doors that need to be closed and open doors that need to be open.
Mhm.
Now we're moving forward.
Mhm.
Now we're seeing progress. And now we're able to look back and say, you know what? That journey wasn't bad at all.
That's
Because the
it.
Bible said we're like a mere vapor. We're going to soon vanish away. Everything that we're going through or dealing with right now is temporarily.
Mhm.
It's not permanent. It's temporarily. And so now that I know that it's temporarily, I'm able to move. But he put people in our life to help us get over hurdles, obstacles, or whatever kind of challenge we have in our life. He put people in our life for that reason. But we have to accept that. We have to embrace that.
And
And
that's
when we're able to do that, we're able to pull another brother. Because the Bible says when thou hast been converted, then scripting our brother. We can't help nobody. We still wallow in our mess.
oh my goodness. That thing is so true. If you just joined us on tonight, welcome to another awesome segment of Hanging with the Walkers tonight with Roger and Barbara Walker. And the topic tonight is the power of forgiving. The power of forgiving your spouse. Keyword power. In other words, you have control. In other words, you can do this. You can let it go. And not only to forgive them, you have to forgive yourself.
Okay.
You have to forgive the very person that you said or you allowed in your space to hurt you. Again, we know the vicious cycle: hurting people hurt people. Unconsciously, sometimes we hurt other people because of how we've been treated, because of what was said or done to us. And it happens so subtle. And then for other people, you know that you're doing it. You know that you're saying it. You know that you're causing it.
All right. All right.
But it's your way of healing. If I don't make somebody else feel like I felt, our sponsor Scylla just shared a testimony about how she felt about what was going on with the family, what she thought they were doing, that she was mad at the whole family. And this is what happens to us sometimes when we don't understand, when we don't know all other circumstances. Then we mad at the whole family. Sometimes there's a little mustard seed that was planted on purpose because the enemy knew that you were vulnerable.
Oh, yeah.
So if I set it up, then you'll be mad at them and you won't forgive them. You know, we was telling this story some years ago that about the meat in the pot. Mom always cut the back end off the meat. Then that daughter cut the back end off the meat. So by the time we got to the third generation, she says, Mama, why do we cut the back end off the meat? She said, because the parts wasn't big enough for it to fit in. So we carry things on, not really knowing.
Not really knowing.
We carry generational curses on
Mhm.
because we don't really know.
Mhm.
You're mad and not speaking to me. You don't even know why.
But who asked?
That's it. That's it.
Who asked?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ask, or you just okay? They mad, I'm mad.
Mm-hmm.
And the friends do the same thing. You have certain friends want you to be mad with certain individuals
That's
because
it.
they are mad with them,
That's it.
and you don't even know that individual.
That's it.
So why am I mad with someone I don't even know?
If they not talking to him, you're not talking.
You're
to
not
them.
talking to them. You know.
How do you really feel about that? If your friend has a friend, and all of you all used to hang out together, then all of a sudden they stop talking to them. Do you think you should stop talking to them?
Woo.
If it's a husband and a wife, that's sensitive. That's really sensitive. If it's a husband and a wife, and that husband stop talking to that person, do you stop talking to them?
Mm-hmm.
Do you still associate with them, or do you stop talking to them because my husband or my wife doesn't fellowship with them anymore?
We need some help with that. Do we still go out on dates?
Do we still fellowship with them?
Yeah.
Even though I know that they're not getting along.
Mm.
So do I just cut them off? We've been friends for years.
Mm-hmm.
But all of a sudden that mustard seed was crossed
Mm-hmm.
or
Mm-hmm.
dropped in the ground and it
Mhm.
grew.
Uh-huh.
Do we just cut it off because you don't get along with my husband, or you don't get along with my wife, or we're business partners, and whatever you did in a past business, I'm not going to do business with you because of what happened in that business venture? I'm not going to be your friend
Mhm.
because you did something to her. So because you did something to her, I'm going to cut you off. I'm not going to be friends with you. I'm not going to hang out with you. That's sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
And that could cause some issues that we're not aware of.
Yes, it can.
I know you talking to so and so, but you know what they said to me. You know what they did to me. Why are you talking to them? Why are you going out with them? You know how they treated me. You know what they said to me. You know what they did to me. You know how they disrespected me. So you're gonna disrespect me by being around them, talking to them, being with them, associating with them, and then you feel like you're caught in the middle. But what do? You don't want to cause animosity in your relationship. You don't want to cause division, because it can cause division
Mm.
without us knowing it. How mature are we to be able to still fellowship and know how to pray until that thing has been healed or fixed?
Yes.
How, do we have the good direction to be able to say and speak to a situation to be able to fix it or to find out what's going on?
Wow.
Or do we just carry it on and just be afraid to say anything or speak to them or try to find out what's going on? And do we just, as the older people used to say, do we just let sleeping dogs lie?
Okay.
But
And
what do
that's-
you do?
yeah.
What do you do? How do you fix it? Do you try to fix it? Do you let it go? If you're just tapping on with us tonight, we're talking about the power of forgiving. Not only just the power of forgiving, but the power of forgiving your spouse.
Mm.
And just understand and know the divorce rate is up because we never learned how to forgive.
Mm.
What example have you had in your past? Family, mom, dad, sisters, brothers, uncle, cousins, where there was a situation and the power of forgiving took over.
Mm.
Some marriage, some relationship, some engagements have been broken because the power of forgiveness was not there.
Oh, that's something there.
Because we used to say a long time ago, if I give you an inch, you're gonna take a mile.
Right.
So if I said or did something that you did not like, I'm not going to forgive you for that. Because if I forgive you for that, you're going to do this. That's the old cliche. If I give you an inch, you're going to take a mile. If I quote unquote let you get away with that, then you're going to try to get away with this. I forgave you for that. But can I forgive you for this? So it's almost like the storm. The longer it is there, the more damage is caused.
Yes.
And it's like,
Yes.
when does it stop? When does it stop building? When does it stop raining? When does it stop pouring in a relationship and in the lives of both of us? When does it stop? Because we're not able to forgive on tonight. And we implore you to have a heart of forgiveness on tonight, to be able to learn how to let it go so that you can grow. And this is a major question. Why are you holding on to it? Why can't you let it go?
Because I say all the time, sin feel good
Mhm.
and sin tastes good.
Mhm.
And one thing about sin, it will take you far as you want to go, and it will keep you as long as you want to be kept.
Mhm. Mhm.
And when we realize that, we'll be not until then we'll be able to let go.
Yep.
Because sin not only hurts the individual that you are associated with, but it hurts you as well.
Mhm.
Unforgiveness not only hurt the individual, but it hurt you as well.
Yes.
Matter of fact, it hurt you more than it hurt the individual. Because while you up walking the floor, pacing about what you're gonna do to them, what you're thinking about them, they home sleeping.
Mhm.
They home getting ready, they don't eat, got their belly full, took them a shower,
That's
they
it.
resting.
Mhm.
And you up all night long tossing and turning because you have this nonsense embedded in your heart.
Mhm.
And they sleeping. 3 months later, you got bags up under your eyes and they still looking young. Because unforgiveness transform you into something that you can't even recognize.
That's it.
It calls you not to truly understand who you are. One of the saddest things, my brothers and sisters, is not knowing who you are.
Oh my goodness.
That's real sad. When you don't know who you are,
Mhm.
when you don't know your value, when you don't know your worth, when you are always belittling yourself but blaming everybody else for your shortcomings.
Or dumb it, what they call it, you dumb it down yourself so that somebody else can feel better about
Right.
themselves. Mhm.
Because we have to change this poverty mentality of who we are as a man and as a woman.
Mhm.
Because you are valuable, you are worth something, you are much needed. We can't do this without you.
That's it.
You have to know this. Put it in your spirit, man. I am needed. I am wanted. I am loved.
That's it.
You have to know this within yourself. Encourage yourself.
Mhm.
Lay hands on yourself.
Mhm.
Speak over yourself.
That's it.
And walk out with your feet flat on the ground, with your lungs girded up, with your head held high.
Mhm.
Knowing that when you come, the atmosphere is shifting. Things are changing because when I'm on the scene, whoo, I'm the lean, mean green machine. And you got to know who you are, brothers and
Yes,
sisters.
yes.
Stop allowing the enemy to dictate how you feel, when you come and when you go, what you should do, what you cannot do. You have the ability to change everything that you are going through right now in your life.
Mhm.
Believe it in your heart and speak it with your mouth. You have the power to change it. But having a pity party, having unforgiveness in your heart, malice and scrap, you won't be able to change nothing, not even yourself.
That's it. I in the back of my book, We Can Make It Work.
Mhm.
I wrote a chapter that said needed, wanted, and valued.
Mm.
Somewhere in our life, we want to feel needed.
Mm.
And in the midst of that, we have a desire to be wanted.
Mm.
And then to know that I am truly valued in the place that I am in.
Mm.
I value your friendship. I value your business partner. I value your opinion. I'm needed because I can make it work. I'm needed because I have the mindset, the drive, that go getting spirit to make it happen. I'm wanted because there's something that's on the inside of me that's causing it to work like a well-oiled machine.
Mm.
But when we get in a friendship, relationship, business, marriage, ministry, and we don't feel needed, wanted, or valued, it brings on a whole different mindset. And then that's when you say you're wearing your feelings on your shoulder.
Mm.
Because if someone says something to offend you, then you're
Mm.
walking in unforgiveness.
Mm. That's it.
You feel like they devalued you. You feel like they talked you down.
Mm.
You feel like they didn't know your worth. And because they didn't know your worth, then I was not wanted. I was
Mm.
not needed. I was not valued.
Wow.
And then it goes right back to what you said. Do you feel needed?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel wanted?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel valued? How do you feel about you?
Right.
Can you encourage yourself in the midst of that?
Mm-hmm.
Even if something goes wrong,
Mm-hmm.
can you first forgive yourself? Maybe something that happened, but did you forgive yourself? Remember, it's not always your fault
Right. Exactly.
because maybe they didn't know how to love you. Maybe they didn't know how to treat you. Maybe they didn't know how to accept you. Maybe they've never seen it before. And because I've never seen it before, there's no way I can exhibit or give it to you because I've never seen it before. I've never experienced it before. So we go into a relationship, ministry, marriage, business, friendship, expecting someone to give us something that they have never, ever had in their life.
Mm.
And then we say, they hurt me.
Mm. Wow. That's good. Yeah.
But they never knew
That's
how
good.
to give you what you really needed. You went into it expecting something, as Scylla said earlier, expecting something that they could not give you. You demanded more. How could you demand something from someone that doesn't know how to give it?
That's right. And the best thing you can do, Pastor,
Mm-hmm.
is straight simple, my brothers and sisters. The best thing you can do for yourself is to forgive yourself.
Yes.
Because if you don't forgive yourself, you're going to repeat the same cycle over and over and over.
Mm-hmm.
I tell everybody, you cannot get a rainbow trout out of a catfish pond.
That's it.
And we wonder why we keep getting catfish. Wonder
Mhm.
why we keep going through the same old cycle over and over.
Mhm.
Wonder why we keep getting in the same relationship, getting the same old dead end job. We keep
Mhm.
getting the same old dead end careers, or hanging around the same old dead end friend. Why? Because we have not forgiven ourselves. It have clouded our judgment. It have blinded us. It have plugged up our ears, and it have took away your voice.
Mhm.
Without your voice, who can identify you?
That's it.
You can't even identify yourself because why? You don't have anything positive to say. It's always negative coming out your mouth. You're always crying wolf. You're always murmuring. You're always complaining. And so the enemy is trying to steal your voice because the enemy knows there's power within the word of God and there's power in you.
Mhm.
Your words have power, and it does matter what you say. It does matter how you think.
That's it.
The enemy trying to steal your identity. Don't let him. Forgive and move on. Like Pastor said earlier, you ain't even did anything wrong,
That's it.
but you still have to forgive in order to move forward. You don't have to deal with the individual any longer, but you have to forgive that individual in order for you to move forward. If you want doors to open up, forgive.
That's it.
I promise you, if I'm lying, I'm flying. I'm going to tell you straight up. If you truly forgive and forget it and let it go, don't hold on to the forget part. Let it go.
Yep.
Watch how God bless you.
Mhm.
Watch how things change for you. Watch how you get transitioning into promotion. Money start coming, healing start taking places, doors start open for this, doors are open for that, family start healing, brother getting out of jail, sister getting out of what you water. It's ever going on. It's a cycle that the God said he'll open up a window and pour you out such
That's
a blessing that you have no room to receive.
That's it.
This will take place in your life, my brother and my sister, when you truly forgive. But forgiving means to let go.
Yes.
We use the old excuse about, well, I forgive you, but I ain't forgot about it. Well,
Right.
you ain't never forgave him because as soon as some similarity come up to that, you're going to throw it up in that place. No, I've been through that already. I refuse to go through that again. You have not healed.
Mhm.
The Bible said don't cast some. It said cast all your cares upon him.
That's it.
Have you cast your cares upon him? Have you truly given it to him? Because if you have, you can let go. And let me tell you when you truly forgave. Let me tell you when you truly forgave, when that individual come into your presence again. You will know whether you forgave them or not. Because that happy face won't go to a frown face. Or you will say, oh, I'm going to pull up, y'all. I got to go.
Or feel that choking.
Exactly.
That strain, that chest.
Come on now. Come on now.
Shortness of
Yes,
breath.
sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You know when you forgave somebody. Because it won't even bother you anymore.
Yeah.
It won't even bait you anymore. You go say, hey, how you doing? Oh, good to see you. God bless you. And keep on moving. But if you're running from the very thing, you have not forgiven yet.
That's it.
And you truly have not let it go. We're trying to break this curse. We're trying to break this cycle, brothers and sisters. We're trying to get you to understand that there are doors that God wants you to walk through, but you can't walk through them with unforgiveness because why? You're unclean. You're holding on to stuff that'll hinder you. It's like you got 4,000 pounds of weight tied around your waist and knowing that you can't move it. You can't move. So you're still in the same spot. But in your natural eye, it looked like you're moving. But in the spiritual realm, you're still in the same old spot. You ain't went nowhere. You ain't grew or did nothing. But if you forgive, doors will open up in your life. You will see change immediately. And it will start within you. Why? Because you'll start feeling better. You'll start looking at things from a different perspective. You'll start hearing different. You'll start smelling different. You'll start speaking different. You'll start seeing different. Everything will be like brand new to you. You've been that moment. And then once you grab a hold to it, and once you truly embrace it, you want to tell everybody about it. Ask me how I know. Because I had unforgiveness in my heart for a long time. I hated people. I ain't like nobody.
Sure did.
I was a devil in the sky. I took over his job. That's how bad I was. I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
And that rises up every now and then. And I have to keep it under suggestion. So I have to keep myself rooted. How I do that there? By in the word of God and around my wife. I don't hang around everybody because I have an attitude that is beyond attitude. And it goes from 0 to 0 like that. So I have to keep myself rooted because why? I don't want to go back where I came from.
That's it. That's it.
I don't want to return to my vomit because I ain't no dog. And my brothers and sisters, I know you feel the same. I'm not talking just to be talking to you. It's some real deal stuff.
Yep.
It's a mean world out here. And if you don't surround yourself with someone that's going to strengthen you, hold you accountable, someone that's going to push you, someone that's going to help you, you're in trouble.
Yep.
We are never designed to be on our own to do anything. We need one another.
Yes.
So stop segregating yourself. Stop hiding yourself. Stop running from everybody that loves you. When you forgive, you'll be able to embrace the love.
Yes.
You'll be able to receive the love. You'll be able to understand life itself. Because right now, since you have unforgiveness, you don't even recognize life. You can't even understand life.
That's it.
Why? Because you're not living your life. Like them folks say, life be lifing. Really? Do it really be lifing? I think it's just unforgiveness in your heart that got you feeling that you live in a double life, and which you are. Because you live in one around these individuals and you live in one by those individuals.
That's it.
Because you're unforgiveness.
That's it.
You walk past your loved ones, won't even speak, but you'll speak to a stranger you don't even know.
That's it. That's it. Leading a double life.
Yes, sir.
And not, sometimes some people are aware of it, and it really doesn't bother them because they feel like I'm not doing anything wrong. But that was a powerful thing that you said, that if you really truly forgave that person, you could be in the same room with them and not have any animosity, fear, nervousness. Some people nausea because it's still there.
Right.
What you did to me years ago that I said that I forgave you of, I never really let it go.
Right.
Because when I see you or hear your name, automatically, some people say water well up in their mouth, face get hot because they're so angry because of what you did to me years ago.
The world say I forgive, but I don't forget. But Jesus said I have come and give you life and life more abundantly.
Yes.
How can he give you life more abundantly if he's still holding on and not forgetting what you have done?
That's it. That's it.
Can you imagine Christ throwing up what you have done back in your face? The same way you do your brothers and sisters? Can you imagine him treating us that way? Can you imagine him not answering our call when we call for him? Because you know what? I ain't forgot about what you did, so I'm gonna holler at you next week. Can you imagine?
Right.
He treated us the same way we treat one another. Can you imagine?
There are some people in jail or dead right now
Mhm.
because they could not walk
Right.
in forgiveness.
Come on now.
Psalms 25:7 in my book, Forever Growing, says, "Remember not the sins of my youth and my rebellious ways. According to your love, remember me." According to how you love me, God, remember me that way. Don't remember all the things I did in my youth. Don't remember all the things that I did wrong.
Now twist that around real quick before you move on, Pastor.
Mhm.
Huh? Remember how you love me, Lord.
That's it.
And your brothers and sisters are asking you, remember how you used to love me.
That's it.
Remember when we was tight?
Mhm.
Remember we was inseparable? You remember when we was lovers?
Yep.
What happened?
Yep.
Until we became enemies.
That's it.
How did that take place?
Mhm.
So imagine Christ forget how he loved us and became our enemy.
Mhm.
The same way we do one another. It's
Yep.
scripture.
That's it. Psalms 25:7. Remember not the sins of my youth. Asking God, don't listen, Lord. Don't remember all that stuff that
Woo!
I used to do. Don't remember.
Homongers,
Oh my goodness,
thieves,
lying,
liars.
stealing, backstabbing.
Come on now.
Don't forget all that
Curse gesture.
vanity.
Come
Yep,
on.
yep. Don't forget the sins of my youth and my rebellious ways. Forget them.
Come on.
Don't bring it up. Then, according to your love, God,
Uh-huh.
I want you to remember me. For you are good. I'm gonna stroke your ego now. For
Mm.
you are good, oh Lord.
Woo! Right there. Oh, right there. That's it. That's
I'm gonna
it.
tell you how good you are. I'm
Yes,
gonna
sir.
tell you how much you love me.
Mm.
Because I don't want you to remember nothing
My Lord.
that I did in my youth.
You
And,
saying
and,
something.
and we know we're not alone.
You saying something.
That in the midst of everything that we've done, said, did, or will do, that's the last thing that I want you to remember, even in relationships.
Mm.
If I hurt you or you hurt me, if I cheated on you, you cheated on me, if I lied on you, you lied on me, or if I stole from you or you stole from me,
Mhm.
I don't want you to remember that.
Mm.
I want you to remember how much you love me.
Mm.
This is my friendship. You broke my trust. I don't want you to remember any of that.
Wow.
I just want you to remember how much you loved me as a friend. You got to hear this tonight.
Mm.
You got to hear this. We didn't make this up. It's in the book, Psalms 25:7. That was the scripture. That was the cry. Don't think about all the stuff that I did to you. Just remember how much you love me. And if you don't get to a point to where you can truly put it behind you, I promise you, you'll never move on to the next phase in your life.
And wouldn't it be so powerful if we all could portray that?
Yeah.
I could say to you, hey, forget what I have done to you. Just remind yourself how much you love me. How would the world really be?
Mm-hmm.
If I could just put my differences aside and just show you how much I love you, even though you hurted me,
That's it.
even though you disrespected me, even though you threw me away, even though you misused me,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to forget all that because I want to show you how much I love you.
That's it.
I want to show you how much I care for you. I want to show you how much I value you.
Mm-hmm.
Even though you forsake me, even though you hurted me, even though you did what you did to me,
Mm-hmm.
don't worry about that because I want to show you my true love
That's
for
it.
you.
My true love. I want to show you how I really feel.
Can you imagine?
Yeah. So when I wrote that chapter in the book about let go in order to grow, there were a lot of things in the past that I thought I had let go of. But by the time I got to that chapter, I realized that I was still holding on and I really, really didn't let go. And I started the chapter, I said, while we're trying to plant ourselves in ministries and jobs and families of our choice, make sure we're planted in places where we can grow. Make sure we're planted in places, relationship, ministries, marriages, and friendships that we can be able to forgive so that we can grow. Because sometimes we hide behind people that know us, know our nasty ways, and will stroke our ego because they know that we don't want to let go. They know that we're angry. They know that we're bitter. So they'll hide us until we can come out of that thing. So when you are released to let it go so you can grow, make sure you're able to do just that. And that's grow. Psalms 92:12-14 is what my scripture was. The righteous will flourish like palm tree. Key word, flourish, grow. like a palm tree. They will grow like a cedar of Lebanon, planted in the house of the Lord. They will flourish in the courts of our God. They will bear fruit in old age, and they will stay fresh and green. Now, in order to do that, there's some things in your life right now, this very second, that you said that you let go of that you really didn't. So, how can you stay fresh and green if you still have weeds around your roots that's smothering the very thing that God intended to grow? Weeds being lies, hurt, manipulation, sarcasm, lies, hidden secrets, weeds, things that are unnecessary, things that need to be clipped away from the root of our healthy limbs. And we hold on to it. We hold on to it mentally, we hold on to it emotionally, we hold on to it psychologically. And when we do, we take it to the book, we take it to nursing. We have ulcers, high blood pressure, heart
Mhm.
trouble, diabetes, autoimmune disorders, muscle disorders, shortness of breath, heart attacks, muscle spasm.
Mm.
Come on, I can just go on and on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sleepless nights, we have insomnia,
Yes, sir.
we have loss of appetite,
My Lord.
and sometimes it even takes us into having a nervous breakdown.
Wow.
And they try and test everything, but there is no cure
Mm.
because the root of it all is unforgiveness.
Unforgiveness.
Because there were some things and there were some people. And we often say, why they hanging on, why they lingering on, why they won't let go. Because there are some things and some people that they gotta see, that they gotta say in their heart, I forgive you,
Wow.
that I still love you. And when they see that person, hear their voice, that person is able to come to them, they let go. And their face, their demeanor is so peaceful. I said again, Psalms 92 and 14, deep enough while you're letting go in order to grow. The verse reminds us that even in our old age, we're going to still be able to bear fruit. We're going to stay fresh and green. Because there are some people now, there are some young people in your life, in your surroundings, even in your families, that there is a word that you need to pour into them. So the Lord has to keep us staying fresh and green so that when they are ready, because we hear the statement all the time, when the student is ready, the teacher will come. After they've broken the generational curses, let go of the unforgiveness, then they're going to find you and sit at your feet so that you can pour into them. You better hear me on tonight. So all the outpouring, all the sowing into others, even when you're old, you're still able to share with others. We have a mindset. You know what? Let them do it because they're young.
Right.
They
Right.
can do it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still work for us to do because when that person, whether it be man, woman, boy, or child,
Mm-hmm.
get to the point that they can let go of unforgiveness, they're coming to find you so that you can pour into them and begin to share with them real love,
Mm-hmm.
pure love, and forgiveness. We're still giving, we're still bearing, we're still building, we're still sowing into others. And the object is to remain fresh and grow. In other words, remain young in heart and strong. And when you have been properly prepared and released, then you can grow. Sometimes because of unforgiveness, you feel like you've been held back from promotions, jobs, in your marriages, in your business, and even in your ministries because of unforgiveness. I was chastised, so I didn't forgive them. Something was said to me that I felt like offended me. So I was walking in unforgiveness. So just remember, you've been planted there for a reason and then for a season. Because sometimes we try to hold on to things and people that God never intended to still be in our life. It seems like forever, but it's just for a moment. In marriage, the word declares in Genesis 2 and 24, therefore shall a man leave his father and mother and shall cleave to his wife.
Wow.
So sometimes we got to do that. Sometimes we got to cut the apron string. Sometimes we got to get to a point to where, you know what? I got to go.
Mm.
I can't stay
Yeah,
under
yeah, yeah.
you forever. You can't grow if you don't let go. You have to leave the womb to grow and start a new life. You got to go. You got to let it go. You got to let go all of that stuff
Mm.
that's hindering us from doing what we need to do. And if we don't forgive, if we don't let go, we're going to stunt our growth, stunt the places that we need to go to. Let go of the weight, let go of the pain, let go of the hurt that caused our low self-esteem, that caused our depression, whatever impurities. Because he said in the word that he'll remember them no more. So if he's not remembering them, why are you still
Mm.
holding on to
Okay,
it?
there we go.
Having silence in the middle of storms, it gives you time to strengthen. It gives you time to be angry all over again. Well, I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm not gonna talk to him. I'm not going nowhere around him. All it is doing is just giving you strength to hold on to bitterness
Mm-hmm.
and unforgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just saying tonight, we got to let go. We got to strip away, got to wash away malice and jealousy, envy and bitterness and strife that's stopping our growth.
Because if we truly don't forgive, it opens up doors
Yes,
that need to be closed.
that's it.
And that's what's taking place in our life. And we
Yep.
wonder why things are happening. And we hear the people saying, though, why do bad things happen to good people? Who is good?
That's it. That's
Who is
it.
good? What do you call good?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus is the only one that is good, and that's God himself.
Mm-hmm.
Unforgiveness causes a lot of things to happen. Whether you want to consider yourself good or however you want to consider yourself.
That's it.
Unforgiveness causes it.
That's it.
Unforgiveness is disobedience. And what happened with disobedient people? He said, he chastened those who I love.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing that you are going through, it ain't the devil, God that's chastening you.
Mhm.
Why? Because he loves you.
That's it.
In spite of what you're going through, how you feel or what you have seen. He loves you just that much. So this is why you're going through what you're going through.
Mm-hmm.
Because of disobedience.
And then understand and know that there are some people that know you, that want to get to know you,
Mm-hmm.
but because of what they've heard, because of what they don't know,
Right.
they won't get to know you.
Right.
They won't try to find out who you really truly are. Something that was said that was not forgiven, that
Mm-hmm.
you know not of,
Mm-hmm.
but because they're walking around in unforgiveness, they won't let it go so that they can grow. They won't begin to cut away the things that's stifling their growth. And they're so fearful of you growing to their walk around in unforgiveness
Mm.
and choke themselves out.
It's something else.
I'm just saying, even in the scripture, Isaiah 43:18 and 19, forget the former things. Do not dwell on the past. See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. And do we receive that on today? There's some new things that's being done in your life, but you got to let go of unforgiveness. You got to let go of all the dead weight. You got to declare today that I'm free from unforgiveness
Mm.
and I want to live again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Life will begin to look new.
Mm.
Our heart will begin to feel free.
Yes, sir.
And our burdens will be
That's
lighter.
Right. That's right.
Because we let go of unforgiveness on tonight.
That's right.
And then we can start living.
Mm.
We can have joy to our soul.
Wow.
And sometimes we'll be crying and don't know why we're crying.
Mm.
It's because we're free from bitterness. We're free from unforgiveness. And that chapter says, let go in order to grow.
Wow.
We
That's
don't even
powerful.
understand.
That's powerful.
Sometimes we just have to use it
That's
as a
powerful.
sample or a symbol.
That's powerful.
I envisioned when I wrote that chapter being able to, whether it's take some leaves and just let it go. take some butterflies and release them and just let it go, symbolizing all of the things that were once there that I can no longer hold on to. A butterfly is a light thing. In giving freedom, it'll just let go and just go wherever.
Come on, that's it.
So even
That's it.
those things that seem light to us, sometimes we have to let them go
Mhm,
in order for us to grow.
mhm.
You're still there. You're still in a relationship. You're still in the marriage. You're still in the ministry. You're still in the friendship. So let go. It's not about you. It's not about them. Let go so you can grow.
That's it.
Oh man, does that make
That
sense
makes a lot of
tonight?
sense. That's it.
If you're tapping on tonight, we're talking about the power of forgiving, the power of forgiving your spouse.
Mm.
Oh my goodness. And I know you got something for us.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the second part of our segment, Forever Growing, because you are forever growing.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about the power of forgiving.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about the power of forgiving your spouse.
Mm-hmm.
Let's dive straight into it. Every marriage faces moments of conflict, hurt, and disappointment. No matter how much love there is, misunderstanding and mistakes are inevitable when two imperfect people share life together.
That's it.
But one of the most powerful tools a couple has to navigate these bumps in forgiveness is more than just a word. It's an essential ingredient for a thriving, lasting relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Forgiving your spouse may not always feel easy, but it's necessary. And let me share why it's necessary. One, forgiveness breaks the cycle of resentment.
Yes.
Forgiveness breaks the cycle of resentment.
Mm-hmm.
When hurt feelings go unaddressed or are allowed to fester, they can build into a wall of resentment. Without forgiveness, even the smallest offense can snowball, leading to distance and bitterness.
Mm-hmm.
Forgiveness, my brother and my sister, breaks this destructive cycle, allowing you and your spouse to reconnect and heal rather than drifting apart.
Mm-hmm.
The second one is it fosters emotional intimacy.
Mm-hmm.
It fosters emotional intimacy. Forgiving doesn't mean forgetting or excusing bad behavior, or does it? But it does create space for vulnerability. When we forgive, we choose to let go of grudges and open ourselves up emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
This act of grace fosters a deeper connection because it says, I love you enough to work through this.
Mm.
The more often forgiveness is practiced, the stronger your emotional bond becomes.
That's true.
The third one, forgiveness reflects grace.
Yes.
Forgiveness reflects grace. I'm going to say it again. Forgiveness reflects grace. In marriages, grace should flow as freely as love. Hold on. I think y'all missed that. In marriages, grace should flow as freely as love.
Mm. Great.
Just as we receive forgiveness for our own mistakes, we are called to extend it to our spouse. Holding on to hurt not only damage the relationship, but it can weigh us down emotionally and spiritually. Offering forgiveness, my brothers and sisters, even when it's hard,
Mm.
reflects the grace we hope to receive in return. The fourth one is, my brothers and sisters, because you are forever growing, it promotes healing over time.
Over time.
It promotes healing over time. It's not an overnight process, but it promotes healing over time. Forgiveness doesn't magically erase pain,
Yes.
but it set the stage for healing.
Mm-hmm.
Holding on to anger and hurt keeps wound fresh. However, when you make the choice to forgive, you're choosing to prioritize healing and growth. Over time, forgiveness can soften the heart,
Wow.
rebuild trust, and remind you both of the bigger picture, your love and commitment to one another.
Hmm.
It reminds you both of the bigger picture, your love and commitment to one another. I'm going to say it one more time. Reminds you both of the bigger picture, your love and commitment to one another.
Mhm.
The fifth one is forgiveness strengthens trust.
Yes.
Forgiveness strengthens trust. When you forgive your spouse, it sends a message that your relationship is bigger than the offense.
Mhm.
Woo! When you forgive your spouse, it sends a message that your relationship is bigger than the offense.
Mhm.
It says that your commitment to each other is worth fighting for. This strengthens trust. Your spouse knows they are safe with you even when mistakes are made.
That's
I'm
it.
going to say it again. Your spouse knows they are safe with you even when mistakes are made.
Mhm.
Do your spouse know that they are safe with you even when you make mistakes?
Hmm.
Do they know that? Trust is essential for any healthy marriage, and forgiveness is one way to restore and reinforce it.
Mhm.
The sixth one, it helps you let go of control. I think I better skip that one. I don't want to lose nobody on here.
Right,
The
right.
sixth one is help you let go of control. Sometimes we hold on to grudges because it gives us a sense of control. Sometimes we hold on to grudges because it gives us a sense of control.
Wow.
But this control, my brother and my sisters, is an illusion.
Mm.
In reality, it keeps us stuck in a place of negativity. By forgiving, you release the need to control or punish your spouse.
Hmm.
By forgiving, you release the need to control or punish your spouse. You are saying, we are a team and we'll face this together. No matter what takes place, we are in it to win it.
That's it.
This mindset, my brother and sisters, creates a healthier, dynamic, and encouraging cooperation over competition.
Mhm.
Let me give you something to practice with. Communicate openly.
Mhm.
Communicate openly about your hurt. Forgiveness doesn't mean sweeping things under the rug.
That's it.
Express your feelings calmly and constructively.
Mhm.
Calmly, peacefully,
Woo.
and constructively.
That's it.
Choose to forgive, even when you don't feel it. It's not always easy, but forgiveness is often more about your choice than your feelings.
Mhm.
Forgiveness is often more about your choice than your feelings. Let go of grudges. If you find yourself continually to bring up past offense, if you find yourself to continue to bring up past offense, it may be time to work on truly letting them go.
Mhm.
Remember your spouse humanity. Remember,
Yeah.
just like you, they are imperfect and will make mistakes. Approach them with empathy.
Mhm.
What are you saying, Pastor? When we research the word empathy, it's the ability to understand and share another person's feelings and experience.
Mhm.
It's the ability to understand. That's the first thing you're gonna do is understand. Then you're gonna be able to share. What am I sharing? Another person's feelings and their experiences.
Yes.
And so once that takes place, my brothers and sisters, we'll be able to approach them with empathy.
Mhm.
Pray for the strength to forgive. You just can't forgive all by yourself. You got to pray for the strength to forgive because it drains you. It pulls a lot out of you. If you're struggling, ask God to soften your heart and guide you in offering grace.
Mhm.
Don't be asking God to change their heart.
That's it. That's it.
Ask God to change your heart
That's
because
it.
you're the one that's struggling. You the one. Yes, they did the offense, but you're the one that's struggling to forgive the offense. So it's worse on you than it on them. And that's what we failing to understand, brothers and sisters. Ask God to help you. Forgiveness is a gift. It's a gift. What are you saying, Pastor? Forgiving your spouse is one of the greatest gifts you can give them in yourself. It allows you both to move forward, free from the weight of past hurt. It's not always easy, but it is worth it.
It's worth it.
When you choose to forgive, you're choosing love, connection, and growth. And that is the foundation of a strong, healthy marriage. My brothers and sisters, I'm going to leave this with you. Write it down, jot it, put it on a t-shirt, put it on a hat, put it on your wall. But whatever you do, put it on a tablet of your heart. Forgiveness won't fix everything overnight.
That's it.
But it sets you on the right path towards healing and strengthening your relationship. Whether it's a small disagreement or a more significant hurt, forgiving your spouse is a powerful act of love that can transform your marriage into the magical that it already is.
That's it.
My brothers and sisters, God bless you because you are forever growing.
That's it. I'm telling you. If you missed this video tonight, please go back and watch it. Please like and share because somebody you know may be dealing with unforgiveness. They may not have said it, but you know the signs now. You know that they're fighting. You know that they're hurting. They want to forgive, but they don't know how to let go in order to grow. And if you are a praying man or woman of God, touch and agree with them that unforgiveness be moved and forgiveness will move in. He said, let go of the grudges. Express yourself, express your feelings calmly. You know, in one of my books I wrote, don't shout it out.
Right.
Communication. And when you forgive, you break cycles of resentment. Intimacy can come in, grace can come in, healing can come in, trust can come back, and it helps you to let go of control. I know you felt that when he said it helps you to let go of control. Because when I'm angry with you, when I haven't forgiven you, that's a control. Because that person is going to try to do everything they can to get your forgiveness, to gain your trust. And we use it as a tool.
Yes, we do.
To get what it is that we want.
Yes, we do.
Not after tonight.
Come on.
We're going into a new month and a new season of forgiveness. We're going to let go all of the dead weight, let go all of the things that was holding us. We're going to let all of that go so that we can be able to let go in order to grow on tonight and walk into our new place called forgiveness. And I pray that you receive this on tonight. We had some awesome comments on tonight. Thank you all for tapping in, for joining. Please like and share this video. We get excited. Sometimes we have guests on Hanging with the Walkers. And then there are times that we just minister and mentor to one another. And you just happen to be the audience that gets to hear, feel, and share our thoughts in our heart on tonight. For the power of forgiving. The power of forgiving your spouse on tonight. Let it go. There's some vacations, there's some trips, there's some things, there's some gifts that is going to come to you, but you got to learn how to forgive. You got to learn how to let it go.
That's it.
Oh my goodness. Friendships are healed tonight. We declare that in the name of Jesus.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Relationships are healed tonight in the name of Jesus. Business relationships are healed tonight. Ministry partners are healed tonight in the name of Jesus because we are walking in forgiveness.
That's right.
How awesome is that?
It's awesome.
I feel better.
Me too.
I feel better.
Hallelujah.
So please like and share this video. Join us on Tuesdays, 5:30 to 6 p.m. with the Prayer Birthing Room with Apostle Lenny Royal. And then stay connected at 6 p.m. for community Bible study with our pastor teacher, our senior pastor teacher, Rogers Walker of Connecting in the Spirit Outreach Ministries Incorporated.
Thank you, my brothers and sisters. You're listening to Hanging with the Walkers on She Real Radio, the hottest radio station in Atlanta for R&B and hip hop with our very own Tiffany Real.
All right, you have an awesome night tonight. Know that we love you, and truly, 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 there's nothing you can do about it. And again, please like and share this video. Someone you know may need this information. Have an awesome night. Love you.
Peace.
Peace.